Shabbos or Yontif. Rachel and I were privileged to host the Borodachs for what turned out to be a fateful lunch on Rosh Hashanah 6 or 7 years ago. We were so excited to learn that they were moving to the west side and would soon be our neighbors. I would very much have liked the opportunity to get to know him better. It's difficult to add to the beautiful words that we've just heard, but allow me to close perhaps by attempting to put something of a frame around the life of Dr. Gerold Borodach. He passed away on Rosh Chodesh Adar, and in learning more about him over these past few days, it struck me that Dr. Borodach shared a number of qualities with one of the heroes of the Megillah. Chazal tell us that Mordechai was so successfully able to foil the palace coup that threatened the life of the king because he was the Yoshvei Lishkas Hagazis, he was a member of the Sanhedrin. Fluent in all the languages of the kingdom, there was no earthly wisdom that was unknown to him. To know Dr. Borodach was to know a scholar and a gentleman. He was a Renaissance man who was expert in both the arts and sciences. He could, if you ever had the chance to talk with him, he could talk for hours about Byzantine history, the architecture of the Temple Mount, or Russian politics, often in the span of one conversation. He loved art, regularly visited the Met, and took advantage of being a local here in New York. He was an opera aficionado and a patron of the symphony. He played the piano. He was a voracious and insatiable reader. And when it came to Talmud Torah, Dr. Borodach was simply extraordinary. He never had a formal Jewish education, so perhaps he always thought himself somehow lacking. He became an autodidact, searching out and soaking up every imaginable opportunity to study Torah. Sam, Abby, and Andrew all concur as he heard that he read the Encyclopedia Judaica from cover to cover. The only question that remains unanswered is how many times. He attended all kinds of shiurim, and when he and Ardell retired to New York for 10 years, as you heard, he was a full-time student in the Mechina program at Yeshiva University. I don't think I've ever met any other retiree who spent as much time as he did studying Torah. He developed such a close relationship with Rabbi J. David Blythe. They would speak often about issues pertaining to medicine and halacha. On that note, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge his teachers and rabbis, many of whom are here this morning. Rabbi Benjamin Bleff, Rabbi Simcha Krause, Rabbi Jonathan Rosenblatt, Rabbi Tzvi Ram, Rabbi Nachman Cohen. I want to acknowledge the presence of Rabbi Aaron Cement, Rabbi Larry Rothwax, and Dr. Erica Brown. But Mordechai wasn't just an armchair philosopher, he was also a man of the people. When Esther was taken into the palace, Mordechai made it his business to check on her on a daily basis. He cared deeply about his community and his nation. In the course of his iconic soliloquy, he tells Esther, Don't imagine for a moment that you can escape the destiny of your people. Disabuse yourself of the delusion that you're different. It wasn't a very big Jewish community in the small town of Willimantic, but Gerold always had a very strong Jewish identity. A man proud of his heritage, his mantra used to be the mantra of Mordechai. Al tifrosh min hatzibur, you have to be connected to your people, to your community. And he practiced what he preached not just as a member of his community, but as one of its leaders. Whether in the shul, the school, as Levaya here, Dr. Borodach always made it his business to take a leadership role in Jewish communal life. Looking at the spirit of activism and leadership in the next generation of the Borodach family, it's easy to see where it came from. He loved Israel and traveled there often, as Andrew mentioned. In the wake of the Yom Kippur War, Dr. Borodach picked up and spent a month volunteering at Hadassah Hospital. I'm sure if he could have done it again, it would have been at Shaare Zedek. Now, he was a reserved person by nature, but he had this extraordinary ability. He could strike up a conversation with anyone. Just a couple weeks ago at the Super Bowl party, He started talking to our 8-year-old about what he was learning in school. He said to Rachel recently at Kiddush, I need you to be a rebbitzin. You have to start introducing me to people here at the shul. We just moved here. Rachel started making some suggestions, but it seems that Gerold already knew everyone Rachel could call. Shul and in Jewish coming to life, Dr. Borodach always felt right at home. But for all of his communal and national involvements in the life of Mordechai, everything began with family and radiated out from there. The first things we learn about him in the Megillah are his lineage, and that he adopted his niece and cared for her like a daughter by Hiomenes Hadasahi Esther Bastado, Yenila Abai. Gerold and Ardell met, as you heard, while they were in college. For almost 60 years, they made a great team together. To see a photo of Gerold at a family event was to see a man beaming with pride, a product of the New England stoicism of his youth. Dr. Borodach wasn't always the most emotive person. But Ardell told me that often they would wake up in the morning and just marvel at how fortunate they were to have such an extraordinary family. Friday nights, family meals on Yom Tov, Pesach Seder were singular priorities for Dr. Borodach. He would sit with his kids in shul and insist that they know the place in the Chumash or the Siddur. Dr. Borodach was a doting grandfather. I don't know if soccer or basketball ranked among the top 200 areas of his expertise, but he never missed an opportunity to watch one of his grandkids' games. He loved being involved in their lives, and nothing gave him more joy. I can tell you on a personal note that the image which I will remember him by is the image of his seeing his granddaughter Kira. His eyes would light up, and a huge smile would come over his face. Ardell, Sam and Patty, Abby and Ken, Andrew and Rachel, and your children. Your husband, your father, and your grandfather was a man of the world who belonged to his people, but you were his greatest love. You meant everything to him, and no one will miss him more. Even when the story of Purim is over, the Megillah is not, because the memory of Mordechai and what he stood for continues to endure. To borrow words from the book of Esther, as you preserve the legacy of this great man. May Hashem give you the strength to transform these days. May the soul of Gerold Borodach be bound to the bonds of eternal life. Call upon our Chazan, we can't find the verse on to recite the Kalmale. Ask everyone to please rise.
שאנחנו מתפללים az karat nishmato vegan Yasirei leseiter knafai